What are the emotional, mental, and physical health issues that arise from human trafficking, and what resources are available for those in need? According to the United States Bureau of Transportation, 800 million passengers traveled through domestic and international airlines in 2015. Airports are one of the most crowded and hectic areas where a lot of corruption can take place amidst the bustling lines and scrambling crowds. Recently, a flight attendant named Shelia Frederick noticed a young girl demonstrating signs of distress while seated next to an older man. She left a pen and notepad in the airplane's restroom and mouthed, "Go to the bathroom," to the young girl the next time they made eye contact. When interviewed, Frederick stated, "Her eyes just pierced my soul. I knew something was wrong." The young girl wrote back that she needed help. Shelia's intuitive and quick thinking saved the young girl from human trafficking. Because of this event, Shelia funded Airline Ambassadors, which provides flight attendants with proper and intensive training in hopes of combating human trafficking. But what is human trafficking? The U.S. Institute Against Human Trafficking defines it as a crime that exploits women, men, and children through force, fraud, or coercion. Many people are unaware of the various kinds of human trafficking that are present in our society today. The two largest sectors are categorized as forced sexual exploitation and forced work exploitation. Most of the time, people assume that human trafficking only pertains to sexual exploitation, and thus the misconception that this issue only happens to women is perpetuated. As a matter of fact, out of the 21 million victims of forced exploitation, only 4.5 fall into the category of forced sexual exploitation. The rest of the 16.5 million victims can be broken into several subcategories of exploitation, such as domestic, agriculture, construction, manufacturing, and entertainment. Post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and addiction are all included within the long list of emotional health issues that arise from human trafficking. Mental health issues include dissociative identity disorder, the presence of two personality states, and Stockholm Syndrome, a feeling of trust or affection by the victim to the perpetrator. Victims of human trafficking with varying degrees of emotional and mental health issues are susceptible to develop alcohol and drug addictions as well. Physical health issues deviate depending on the subcategory. For instance, victims of forced labor exploitation commonly face greater issues regarding muscles, joints, skin, and the respiratory system, while those facing sexual exploitation run a higher risk of contracting HIV/AIDS, urinary tract infections, and even forced abortions. As stated in the book titled Combating Human Trafficking, a Multidisciplinary Approach by Michael Pamiotto, although many of the physical damages can be healed in comparatively short periods of time, the mental and emotional damages usually require long-term and consistent specialized care. First and foremost, the Human Trafficking Hotline is one of the main resources available for those who have experienced or witnessed human trafficking. Along with that, public outreach campaigns that specifically target the victims of human trafficking are the greatest forces against this issue. People such as Thabi Miyani, a South African advocate raising awareness and providing resources for women in rural and urban areas. At the age of 17, she founded Friends of Hers, a nonprofit organization that makes resources and support more accessible for women in this region. After a close encounter with a victim of human trafficking, Thabi decided that she had to be prepared for a next time. Since then, her activism has spread from social media to conferences, workshops, and community meetings. Through our interview conducted via email, Thabi emphasized the importance of reaching the greater audience of politicians and prominent members of society. In sum, multimodal resources such as this one may not have a profound impact in rural areas where human trafficking is common, but we must remember that this issue affects developed first world countries just as much as third world parts of the globe. Thabi's activism is a model through which we can draw inspiration from and implement right here on our own campus. Learning about the existing resources for those in need is the first step, whether for personal reasons or to help a friend in need. In the words of Oscar Martinez, the author of A History of Violence Living and Dying in Central America, "Knowing is what moves the waves. You can be one of the waves."